Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean. The water's calm, the surface reflects sunlight. Everything feels familiar. Now, imagine descending. 10 meters, 20, 50. The light begins to fade. 100 meters, 200. The blue turns to twilight. 500 meters, darkness swallows everything. And somewhere in that darkness, something is watching you. Not with malice, not with hunger, but with eyes that evolved in a world humans were never meant to see. This is the deep ocean, a place where gravity feels heavier, where pressure crushes steel, where temperatures hover just above freezing. And the creatures that live here? They don't just look different, they look wrong. Today, we're going to explore why deep-sea creatures get creepier the deeper you go. Not because they're monsters, but because they stopped pretending to be anything else. Let's start at the surface. The Sunlight Zone, also called the epipelagic zone. This is the ocean we know, the one we swim in, the one we photograph, the one that appears in nature documentaries with cheerful music. Here, sunlight penetrates down to about 200 meters, and because of that light, life here follows rules we recognize. Fish have colors, bright blues, silvers, yellows. They have symmetrical bodies, forward-facing eyes, predictable shapes. Dolphins leap. Sea turtles glide. Schools of fish move in synchronized patterns. Everything here feels normal. Because in the Sunlight Zone, animals evolved under the same conditions that shaped human vision. We see the same colors, we navigate the same light, we understand the same visual language. But even here, at the very edge of the light, things begin to change. As you approach 200 meters, colors start to vanish. Red disappears first, then orange, then yellow. By the time you reach the bottom of the Sunlight Zone, only blue remains. And this is where the first rule breaks. Color stops mattering. Fish here begin to lose their vibrant patterns. Their bodies turn silver, gray, or translucent. Because in a world losing its light, being seen is no longer an advantage. Being invisible is. Now we descend further, from 200 meters to 1,000 meters. Welcome to the Twilight Zone, the mesopelagic. This is where the ocean becomes alien. Only 1% of surface sunlight reaches here, and by 700 meters, even that fades to nothing. But it's not completely dark, because here, life creates its own light, bioluminescence. Approximately 90% of animals in the Twilight Zone produce light. Not for beauty, not for decoration, for survival. Some use it to hunt, flashing lights to confuse prey. Some use it to communicate, sending signals through the darkness. Some use it to hide, illuminating their undersides to match the faint light from above, erasing their shadows. And this is where creatures start to feel unsettling. Take the hatchetfish. Its body is compressed, almost two-dimensional. Its eyes point upward, searching for prey silhouetted against the distant surface. Its mouth curves downward in what looks like a permanent frown. And its belly? Lined with bioluminescent organs that glow in precise patterns. It looks like something caught between dimensions. Or the bear-eye fish. This creature has a transparent head. You can see directly into its skull. Its eyes are tubes, not spheres, permanently fixed upward inside its own face. It evolved this way to spot prey above while remaining hidden below. But to human eyes, it looks like an unfinished sketch, a creature that forgot to grow skin. Then there's the viperfish. Teeth so long they cannot fit inside its mouth, a lower jaw that unhinges to swallow prey twice its size. Eyes that shine in the darkness like distant stars. These animals don't look dangerous in the way a shark looks dangerous. They look wrong. And that wrongness triggers something deep in the human brain, because these creatures violate our unconscious expectations. Eyes should be covered, teeth should be hidden, bodies should be opaque, movement should make sound. But in the Twilight Zone, none of these rules apply. Evolution has abandoned human comfort, and we're only halfway down. At 1,000 meters, we cross another threshold, the midnight zone, the bathypelagic. Here, sunlight doesn't exist, not even a photon. The pressure is 100 times greater than at the surface. The temperature drops to just above freezing. And life, it adapts in ways that seem impossible. First adaptation, gigantism and dwarfism. In the deep ocean, size becomes unpredictable. Some creatures grow enormous. The giant squid reaches up to 13 meters long, the colossal squid even larger. Others shrink. The dwarf lantern shark fits in the palm of your hand. Why? Because in the deep, the normal rules of metabolism break down. With so little food, some animals grow slowly and live for decades, reaching massive sizes. Others stay small, requiring less energy to survive. Both strategies look alien to us. Because on land, size is predictable. We know how big a wolf should be, how small a mouse should be. But a squid with eyes the size of dinner plates? A shark that glows and fits in your pocket? The proportions feel off. Second adaptation, extreme features. Take the fang-tooth fish. It has the largest teeth relative to body size of any fish in the ocean. Its fangs are so long, it has special sockets in its skull to accommodate them when it closes its mouth. It looks like something designed by nightmares. But it's not a monster. It's a solution. In a world where food is scarce, you cannot afford to miss, so evolution created jaws that guarantee a grip. Or consider the gulper eel. Its mouth is enormous, comically large compared to its thin, whip-like body. It can unhinge its jaw to swallow prey larger than itself, its stomach expanding like a balloon. It looks absurd, grotesque even. But in the deep, where meals are rare, the ability to eat anything you encounter is survival. Third adaptation, transparency and gelatinous bodies. Many deep-sea creatures are almost see-through. The glass squid, the transparent sea cucumber, the barrel jellyfish. Their bodies are mostly water, requiring little energy to maintain. And they're nearly invisible in the darkness. But to human eyes, they look unfinished, like ghosts, like something that shouldn't exist. We expect bodies to have substance, weight, opacity. Transparent flesh violates that expectation. It reminds us that solid form is not a requirement for life. It's just what we needed. Fourth adaptation, bioluminescent lures. The anglerfish is perhaps the most iconic deep-sea creature. A bulbous body, a gaping mouth filled with needle teeth, and a glowing lure dangling from its forehead. That lure contains bioluminescent bacteria. It mimics the movement of prey, drawing curious fish closer. And then, the anglerfish strikes. But here's what makes it truly unsettling. The male anglerfish is a parasite. When a male finds a female, he bites into her body. His mouth fuses with her skin. His organs degenerate. He becomes a permanent appendage, providing sperm in exchange for nutrients. Multiple males can attach to a single female. She swims through the darkness, her body covered in the dissolved remains of her mates. This isn't cruelty, it's efficiency. In the vast emptiness of the deep, finding a mate is nearly impossible. So, evolution created a solution that ensures reproduction. But to us, it looks like body horror, because it is. Just not the kind meant to frighten, the kind meant to survive. At 4,000 meters, we enter the Abyssal Zone, the abyss. Here, pressure exceeds 400 atmospheres. Humans cannot survive here. Even in submarines, we are visitors borrowing time. But life? Life endures. The Abyssal Zone covers more than half of Earth's surface, and it is full of creatures we are only beginning to understand. Take the Dumbo octopus. It has ear-like fins that flap as it drifts through the water. It looks almost cute. But its body is soft, boneless. It moves in slow motion, conserving every ounce of energy. It feeds on whatever drifts down from above: detritus, dead plankton, the corpses of animals from distant worlds above. It is a scavenger of the abyss, and its cuteness is accidental. Or the sea pig, a type of sea cucumber that walks on leg-like appendages across the ocean floor. It looks like an inflated balloon with legs, pink, bloated, absurd. But it plays a vital role. It consumes organic matter that settles on the seafloor, recycling nutrients in an ecosystem where nothing can be wasted. Then there are the tripod fish. They stand on 3 elongated fins motionless on the ocean floor. They face the current, waiting for food to drift into their mouths. They can stand like this for hours, days even. Silent, patient, still. They look like statues, like something that died in place and forgot to fall over. But they are alive, just living on a timescale we cannot comprehend. The abyssal truth. In the abyss, movement is expensive, so life becomes slow, deliberate, economical. Creatures here have slow metabolisms. Some live for decades, even centuries. The Greenland shark can live over 400 years. The glass sponge can live for thousands. They experience time differently than we do. A year to them might feel like a day to us. And this creates a kind of existential horror, because these creatures remind us that life does not require speed, or warmth, or light. It only requires persistence. And the deep ocean is patient. Finally, we reach the deepest places on Earth, the Hadal Zone. Ocean trenches deeper than 6,000 meters, the Mariana Trench, the Tonga Trench, the Philippine Trench. Here, pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres. This is the crushing weight of nearly 7 miles of water. And yet, life exists. Snailfish have been found at depths exceeding 8,000 meters. They have no scales. Their bodies are gelatinous, almost liquid. They look unfinished, like they're melting, but they are perfectly adapted. Their cells contain special molecules that prevent proteins from collapsing under pressure. They are one of the deepest living vertebrates on Earth. Amphipods thrive here as well. Shrimp-like crustaceans, some growing to unusual sizes. They scavenge the ocean floor, feeding on whatever falls into the trenches. Some species are pale, almost ghostly. Others are translucent, their organs visible through their shells. And then there are the Hadal snails, tiny creatures with shells that should crack under the pressure. But they don't, because evolution found a way. At these depths, we are no longer exploring an alien world, we are exploring alien time. Some of these trenches have been isolated for millions of years. The creatures here evolved independently, cut off from the rest of the ocean. They are not just deep, they are ancient, living fossils in a world that predates humanity. And when we send cameras down to observe them, they look back, not with curiosity, not with fear, with indifference. Because to us, we do not exist. We are a flicker, a momentary disturbance in a world that measures time in epochs. So, why do deep-sea creatures get creepier the deeper you go? Not because they become more monstrous, but because they become more honest. At the surface, life wears a mask, color, symmetry, familiar shapes. These are decorations, luxuries afforded by sunlight and abundance. But the deeper you descend, the more life strips away pretense. It reveals what survival actually requires: efficiency, patience, adaptation. The creatures of the deep are not designed to comfort us. They are designed to endure. And that is what makes them unsettling, because they remind us of an uncomfortable truth. Humans are not the measure of life. We are not the center of evolution. We are not the reason Earth exists. We are simply one species adapted to one narrow band of conditions: light, warmth, moderate pressure. But life? Life exists everywhere. In boiling vents, in frozen wastes, in crushing darkness. And it does not care if we understand it. The ocean will continue, silent, dark, and alive, long before we are gone. If the mysteries of the deep fascinate you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Legacy Untold channel, because beneath the surface, there are still secrets waiting. Secrets older than humanity and far, far stranger.